That belongs in a museum.
Overall strategy all over again. So you can see this turn, Tars, who has generally been playing a lot quicker than Dark Onyx, has suddenly taken a very long time to plan out this turn. And that's not just planning this turn. That's reassessing the whole matchup strategy.
Definitely, and it also shows the skill of the player. Instead of playing fast and being like, all right, my strategy was to just smash face or whatever, he's actually reevaluated his strategy and going for a different line of play here, which is trying to control the board. Oh, that was a fast roach.
Interesting. So he developed the Doomsayer. I think he thought he could Lava Shock and Doomsayer in the same turn. I think that was his original plan, because he started his turn and then he picked up the Lava Shock and went to point it at the 4-2 and then put it back to his hand and emoted that's a mistake. So just missequenced, thought he had more mana available than he did, and didn't get to remove that 4-2, which means there's now a pretty nice ability for Dark Onyx to be able to answer.
A spell on it.
Yeah.
You would think like, yeah, probably not, but Corruptor is great. Not only just deals with the Doomsayer here, but also builds up the board.
Yeah, I mean, call that a top deck if you want. I mean, it was a great draw. It was a perfect answer, but you know,
double Corruptor.
2 Corruptors, Twilight Guardian. Yeah, lots of the chunky mid-range stuff has already been committed to the board. And I would expect if this is the Malagos list and not the more mid-rangey list, then we're not going to see Draconid Crushers coming out. So
maybe double Doomsayer after this. That's also cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm drawing the second one.
I like it.
And he needs to make a move fast. Wow, he didn't even attack.
Okay, so he's trying to set up something here. What is it, is my question. So he chooses not to attack to leave the 7-1 up. So is he trying to abuse the Sylvanas Steel here on the next turn? I don't see how he would do it.
The 7-1 can just attack it.
He'd have a 1-1, there would be a 7-8 on the board. The same thing would happen. 7 power would hit the Doomsayer. But that's opened up this line of just 7 to face. That's actually pretty strong recognition from Tars. Is like, okay, I could have a 7-1 and just keep the board the same, or I could just deal
fires.
Sure. I mean, you're going to triple Soulfire? No, I don't know. I don't know. It feels like the third one's going to get discarded pretty often if you have to double Soulfire the Earth Elemental, so I don't know.
What spells? What other spells do you have as stars in your deck? Like, do you have any burn spells? Like, you have Lava Shock, but you've used one, so you have a second Lava Shock to deal with the damage.
That's interesting. He chose not to Fire Ellie the 6-3, just played a Halazeo instead.
It's board and Fire Elemental is damage to face.
Very true.
So
Soulfire in the same turn, but I don't know. I was considering doing it on the previous turn with your Sylvanas, because at least that way you get a 7-8 out of the equation, even though you decimate your own hand. So
you can Hellfire as well.
He can. He can Hellfire, Soulfire, and clear.
Yeah. And that's really close, because Fire Elemental can deal 3 damage. So if Tars picks up the second Lava Shock, he's probably not playing Bolts, right?
Well, there's a brand new Earth Elemental.
Yeah.
You had so much trouble dealing with the last one. Try this one out for size.
It looks good.
Yeah, and I think at this point you also kind of just have the read that there's no good mass board clear in the hand, right? So yes, let's just drop this 0 mana 5/5 that we've had for a while.
Especially if there is Jaraxxus or Alexstrasza, and this seems like this is it, right? This is 15 damage from Tars.
Yeah, and this is not Concede Shaman, this is Lethal Shaman.
Lethal
He's
Shaman
actually going to win the game with damage. Fire Ellie to the face, follows it up with the 12. 2-0 for this Control Shaman from Tars. That's kind of crazy.
Such a well-played game. Like, he was holding Ken Hex, the 3-6, and, well, normally, would you say there are bigger minions? Like, you can think about Ragnaros in this kind of deck, but some versions do not run Ragnaros at all.
There's almost certainly at least 2 big things in Tempo Mage. Some combination of Yogg-Saron, Ragnaros, and
sometimes
Archmage Antonidas. Yeah, exactly. So yes, there will always be a bigger target, but that will still Arcane Blast something, which gives you a decent chance of clearing up, and then you'd have Forgotten Torch on the following turn to tidy up. But you can also just take a spell damage play.
As the Frostbolt with Cold Sorcerer is quite nice, and even ping the 1-1 to protect the 3-2 from dying, and then do the possible Flame Waker next turn. He decides to go for Forgotten Torch instead. That's okay. So he kills the 7-4 this turn as well, but
he could have done Frostbolt, Ping, and Arcane Blast, right?
Yeah, I think I would definitely go for the Flame Waker next turn. with the Arcane Blast.
But why did he just leave a 6-1 alive for no reason?
It's
I don't know, so if he Frostbolt pings, he can't Arcane Blast.
Yeah, he can Arcane Blast, but then you have...
that's better, right? Because the 7-4 is frozen. He can deal with that next turn.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
He can deal with that next turn with Forgotten Torch ping or whatever.
Maybe he thought like 7-4 will actually attack.
Huh.
Yeah, I think that was not the best
Oh,
play,
right, cool. Yeah, because the interaction's different, right? If you make the attack that freezes you, you miss your next attack. That's what the text is. So you're yeah, I guess he could have like misunderstood what the freeze would do. Still, weird line. Let's move on.
Yeah, so we are here with Stormcrack, and still Taurus is in a really good spot. He can play Taurus on this turn. He can even face this the 7-8. Thorison is a bit better, I guess, to be able to have more plays next turn, and it's not like it does play around. Like Flame Strike even doesn't do that much on this board.
Nope. You lose that Earth Elemental. You're not just losing that Earth Elemental. You're losing 3 other Earth Elementals.
Right.
So you just do it. Like this
Yeah,
is so much power.
It is really good. It is really good, definitely.
It's just like, sure, you leave a Flame Waker up, but what does this Flame Waker do? It's just nuts. Like, if you get this rolling, this deck just beats things. They just cannot answer endless Flame Imps into his face.
True, yeah. But then, even if your opponent is slamming Talent Shrugs, like if you have a Doomsayer, they can just they lose the board. And this deck, like Conceit Shaman, is specifically targeting the.
There you go.
Yeah, it's not, that's it.
Shaman.
Conceit Shaman.
All right.
Oh man, Mars taking the series 3-0 with that Shaman deck.